I still remember that day, the day everything shifted for me. I was sitting at the airport, boarding pass crumpled in my hand, heart racing as I stared down the long corridor leading to my gate. With each step, I felt that familiar knot in my stomach. It wasn't just about the business meeting ahead in LA. It was about all the times I'd felt out of place, like a book that didn't quite fit the shelf. You see, coming from my background wasn't easy. My family went through some really tough times, and I had to fight against a tide that often felt overwhelming, systemic issues that seemed designed to keep people like me down. But I didn't let that stop me. I built a business from the ground up, pouring everything I had into it, fueled by the belief that hard work pays off. I was flying to pitch a new project that could fundamentally change my life. Unfortunately, that didn't mean I'd be welcomed with open arms. The world often has a way of tossing challenges right back at you. As I stepped onto that plane, I was filled with a mix of excitement and dread. First class was a world apart from what I was used to. Plush seats, creamy cocktails, the muffled drone of the engines creating a strange bubble of luxury. But it didn't take long to notice the polite indifference of the flight attendant, Colleen. She walked past me as I tried to catch her eye. She served drinks to the other passengers like I was invisible. I'm not overly sensitive, but that stung hard. "Excuse me, can I get a drink?" I called after her, my voice barely making a dent in the chatter that surrounded us. She glanced my way, arching an eyebrow as if I'd just requested gold flakes in my cocktail. "You'll have to wait, sir." I didn't want to make a scene, but the way she spoke, dismissing me like that, felt far too familiar. As the flight rolled on, I tried to engage, tried to keep things light, even threw out a joke about flying high, but she just rolled her eyes as if she was busy in another universe altogether. As more time passed, I felt the tension in my chest tighten. I was in first class. I wasn't some unruly passenger scrounging for scraps. Yet here I was trying to get someone's attention, as if I were begging in the alley and the cocktail service was rapidly turning unrecognizable. That's when Andre, another flight attendant, joined the fray. He had an approachable demeanor, and I thought, finally, someone who gets it. He made his way over, a friendly smile on his face. "How's everything going, sir?" "Oh, just trying to get some service," I replied, trying to remain lighthearted. You know how it is. Before long, Colleen came back around, drink cart in tow, and I could feel the shift in the atmosphere. She slammed my drink down as if it were a punishment. "You really shouldn't be so demanding." I felt the color in my face rise. "I'm not demanding, I'm just asking to be treated like everyone else here." "That's enough," she snapped, leaning into the aisle, anger simmering in her eyes. The cabin went silent, every pair of eyes glued to our confrontation. That moment, it all escalated in a blur. Andre stepped in, trying to calm her down, but she didn't want to back down. Instead, she faced me, her voice dripping with disdain. "You're acting like a child. Maybe you should take a seat." And in that moment, I snapped. "I'm not the one being childish here." Then suddenly she lunged, her hands gripping my throat, squeezing as the shock of it all washed over me. "Stop trying to make this a bigger deal than it is," she hissed, and I could barely believe the chaos that had erupted. I wasn't attacking her, I was just trying to exist. My mind went blank. Andre leapt in, pulling her wrist away as she stared at me in disbelief, adrenaline coursing through me. The panic set in. I couldn't breathe, and my world shifted to shades of gray. I never thought the plane would make an emergency landing, but that's exactly what happened. Sirens wailed as we settled on the tarmac, police swarmed, and the eyes of the world seemed trained on me. In the aftermath, news broke everywhere. Reports highlighted not just what happened, but what it really meant, the nuances of bias and discrimination seeping into the crevices of everyday interactions. I felt overwhelmed but disconnected. Something bigger was at play here. I knew I had to act. I started an initiative called Clear Skies, now a push for accountability in the airline industry. I wanted people to see beyond the headlines, to address these moments that some dismissed as just part of the flight experience. What I wanted was real change. Patience is a virtue, they say, but so is fighting for what's right. Slowly, responses began to roll in. I saw movement. Policies were changed, leadership adjusted. It was shocking to see a whole industry bending the arc toward equality, but this movement needed more voices. As I reflected on that day, I became acutely aware of the platform I had gained and the weight of responsibility that came with it. I realized that every challenge is a chance. Every injustice is an opportunity to stand up, not just for yourself, but for others who may not have the voice. If my story could spark even a single conversation, then it was worth sharing. So here I am reflecting on my journey, and I urge you, think about your own stories, times you've witnessed injustice or felt powerless. Have you ever stood up or have you stayed silent? Drop your thoughts in the comments because change starts with us. Together, let's hold the world accountable, one voice at a time.